All right, we are here with the S Club Encore and specifically on the topic of real life. Sarah, you and I did mention strategic coach, our friend and mentor, Dan Sullivan, but he wrote this book called The Gap and the Gain, and how most entrepreneurs and really super achievers tend to say, even though I've had success, this is how far I have to go. And so that's called the gap. And they're never content. And it's kind of like the horizon. It's always in front of you. You'll actually never get to achieve all that you want. So instead of looking ahead at the gap, you look behind you at the gain, and you look and see, here's what I've accomplished, and now I'm going to take account of that, and it actually shows you how far you've come. Gratitude, you mentioned, is one of those things that gets you in the gain rather than the gap. What else do you do?
Yeah, I mean, that book was just life-changing for me in general. And I would say one thing that I took away from that was I build in more time to process emotions and things that happen throughout the day into my schedule. So it's booked as silent time.
Gotcha. You actually schedule it.
Yeah, I actually schedule it. Yep. Every single night before I go to bed, it's part of my evening routine. So what I do is I kind of reflect back on my day, and I take a look at, perhaps a challenging situation that I encountered, and I pull out the lesson from that right away. So I'm able to process that.
And you do it through journaling.
Correct.
That's cool. I think there's probably some wisdom there instead of popping it into your phone or laptop, because then you can get, the book I wrote is called Unhackable, but you can get hacked by you're typing in a note, but then all of a sudden, you have an alert or a text. So you like the journal because you're not connected online.
Yeah, I like the journal, and then I like to go back, and kind of look at, I do it quarterly then as well. So I look back and I see just how much I learned over the past quarter. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't realize how much we do.
Yeah.
And we discredit a lot of that stuff. So for me, that reflecting back, and then I also want to incorporate more fun into my life and spontaneity. So
Each day, you say?
Each day, yeah. I really try to look for different ways to be more spontaneous and adventurous.
Yeah. And it can start small.
Yeah.
It could be, I'm going to the smoothie place, and instead of getting the thing I always get, I'm going to take a risk and get something that I normally don't get. I've realized that that's kind of like a muscle, and if you take that little small thing, it can actually translate into bigger things.
Or even when I'm driving to doing showings, I might take the same route all the time, but then I might drive a more scenic route.
Gotcha.
So just different things to switch out my days.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I would track would be my wins, every day.
Very cool. Well, this is the Encore. Thanks for being part of the S Club. And each podcast, you're going to get a special extra from Sarah or her guests on the topic.